original. Even if we did many changes to the face. Okay, so this is probably gonna be a very unattractive nose if you're going for female. And exactly, I'm going for a female. So what I'm gonna do is try to make it more beautiful. And the more beautiful does mean what? It means make a shape a bit more smoothing. So I did carve in the place dimension here, but I'm gonna add some with the clay strip and smooth in and give a bit more triangle. Now the triangle doesn't go that much up, so I'm gonna use a grab tool and just push it inwards, push it inwards, push it inwards. As well as I have a pretty ugly shape for the nose. What I'm looking now is that this arc is not doing what I want. Now when I look, I see that it drops down. And this shouldn't be dropping out that much. So with the clay sculpt draw, I'm gonna add some. Look at the side, looks a bit better. I see a strange artifact. I'm gonna remesh. Maybe I'm going way too quickly, so let me slow down a bit. One of the hardest thing I found in the nose is actually getting this bump look decent. You can go very simple straight down and it's gonna be working. I usually don't like it. I dragged in one a bit down and make this more bumpy. But it can be very hard to find a shape you like. Probably made it too big. As well as I seen, this bridge became way too slim. I'm just gonna fatten it up. Sometimes using a flayed brush and going through the features can make them a bit more bubbly and cute. You see? Now what I think is that other features making the nose look a bit ugly. Other features of the face. Usually having not too open nostrils on females looks cuter. Yeah, let's keep the noses at that. It's very hard to just go into features and make them finish. Usually go over everything and then change small details together one by one of every single feature. So as I told before, let's just go to the mouth for now. I'm gonna redraw the shape of the mouth. We still had that bump, that's why it didn't start from new. I'm gonna use the crease. I like this corners. Usually I go a bit more up at the corner. I'm gonna remesh. Okay, so sometimes the draw sharp is not the best thing. Sometimes just using a simple pinch can be good. The problem is it's probably gonna destroy some of the volumes of the mesh, but it's gonna give you a pretty smooth and slick move. As well, what you can do is, like, when you use the pinch, try remeshing. The only problem on the very high polys, it's gonna probably take very long time to remesh. Making beautiful female head is usually very hard because you have to have in mind so many small things. The smaller the mouth, probably the cuter it's gonna be, but not too small because it's gonna start look weird. I see that some of the mesh is gone away. There's a muscle group which goes over your mouth. I'm adding that right now, and it helps to build that bumpiness and puffiness to the lips as well. The shape can look weird, not because the lips look weird, but everything around the lips looks weird. That's why it makes, even if it's not the general shape itself, but only the things around make the main shape look weird. What I see already is that I made her face way too thick. I'm gonna smaller. Make it smaller, make it thinner, make it cuter. You see, it looks decently fine from the front, but from the side it looks still pretty weird. Don't worry about it too much right now. I'm just putting an attention to you that it's very important not to work on only one view. Another thing is when I shaped the chin and the lips, did a weird not good bump formed on the down at the bottom of the lip. So what I'm gonna do is carve out and then add the shape which I actually need. Smooth it out. Now, the lip shape is very hard to do the way you want. Make lips look puffy and nice. What I like to do is separate and hide the lip I'm not working on. So now we're gonna use one of the newer tools of the Blender is Facet. When I mask, I press W and there's a Facets from the mask. I'm gonna do that, but it's gonna show too much into viewport, which I don't like, so I'm just turning on that Facets. Or you can make it less visible, but it's still way too... I just don't like it. You can keep it if you want. It's not really, it's just preferable thing. I'm gonna clear the mask. Why it's still visible? Okay. So I'm just gonna press at the top of the face while hiding the bottom. Making a beautiful lips hue things. Making it very puffy is cute and sexy way. I'm gonna use the crease brush. Make this my brush quite small size and form this puffy middle. The crease is actually too small. I'm gonna crease it. Now you can actually use faces like this. You hide one thing, mask it, unhide, smooth, mask, and now you have it masked. And you can do the changes to one thing while seeing another one. As well, not hidden. So I'm trying to add the puffiness to the lip corners. What makes lips look puffy is when they go over one another. Just be careful how much you deform your lips. It might end up looking very weird. Very, very weird. I'm gonna clear the mesh just to look. It looks not bad, but what I don't like is this one became way too small and too separated from the lips. I'm gonna use the crease tool to fix the corners as well, because the lips look way too separated. Use crease at the bottom of the lip to make it look more puffy. Gonna use pinch as well because I lost the shape of the lip. That's like what you're gonna have to do over and over again to get what you want. And it is hard, and it is time consuming. But that's the difference between pro and a beginner, is that the pro gives the time he needs to go over the features over and over again to achieve the look he needs, he wants. It's really no smoke and mirrors, it's just the time you have to go over the features. Okay, I actually end up seeing that I don't like how small my upper lip is. I'm just gonna mask the bottom one and make it bigger. I end up talking about that the nose can be straight, and I'm actually gonna do it a bit straighter because I think it's gonna work out with how my character is looking. I think this is way too pushed. Okay. Now I'm just gonna go over the ear. Or maybe I think that's the farthest to go in this episode. So yeah, people just keep persistent on the features, keep going over and over again and make the shape and changes that we want. Congratulations on reaching so far into series. Let's go over the ears to make them cute and beautiful for this female character. What I'm gonna do first is make them much smaller, change the shape. I'm actually gonna mask and make it go a bit more closer to the jaw. Okay, I'm gonna add a bit more mesh to the side because it looks like the part of the ears is too much separated from the jaw. Can actually hide press hate to make for more facets and hide more things to make it a bit easier for your PC. I find it actually helps lower the lag. As you see, a lot of the shapes from our earlier ear is now gone, but as well as we can add much more because we have a lot more of vertices. So first, what I like to do is shape again from this part. As I told before, we're going over it again because that's what the best artists do. Being persistent and not giving up. Don't be too much afraid on how you have this one separated because it can be very a lot of varieties on how you actually want to do the separation. Okay. Don't forget the back of there as well. What I usually do, we have a pretty decent shape of there as well. I'm just carving in. So we have that inner part look, as well as carving the other part of the bump. And this way having a relatively good shape of the air already. Okay, don't forget to keep saving up your project. Another thing might look weird is some of the views. But I think it has quite nice flow. Maybe it has a bit too small cheek on the side. At this point, it's just going for preference, and the more you're gonna scope, the different preference you're gonna get, and your preference gonna be a bit more clear and more correct on how you put in the shapes. Let's not forget to shape the bottom. And I'm just gonna finish up with the neck. You will see that a small change even to nose changes how everything looks. So without changing too much, I'm just gonna leave it at this, and that's it. Now, I see a lot of people representing their sculpts in a very bad way. I'm just adding one light, one simple, let's say sun, because sun I get is the easiest to control. Let's go into render mode. They add more light so the face is visible. And this is probably how 99% of the beginners' head sculpts look like, which you're not helping your head at all. What I like to start, it's getting a nice HDRs. You can download and install them. I like this one a lot. I can add some strength. Can use scene lights, add blur, some opacity. I think the rotation is decent. Don't be afraid to add some of the properties of the rendering, add a high contrast, and probably can add some subsurface, but better not. The head's usually never a good look. Try getting a good matte